fine. Dyron's taken some damage, but that's kind of expected too with a Phoveus matchup there. He might need some help against Cram later on, but yeah, it's interesting because we've paid a lot of attention to the mid laners, for example, leading into NFC in general, and it's in an interesting position. It's like we haven't seen this hero be maybe as useful as some people thought. And once these level 4s start to come online, Trim's gonna get pulled back.
Whoa, that's 4 members of RRQ actually trying to go for a Trim. They force out the flicker though, so there seems to be an intention to somehow shut him down. But Guys goes in, even using the Phantom Execution towards Rins, but he still does not decide to use the Purify.
Yeah, he doesn't have it. This turtle's up, and this is a battle for space right now. A lot of poking going on here. There's a jump in from Edok, but they just want to fight for it.
Okay, the ultimate's already committed as well. They somehow have a bit of control here, but that's the Dark Wave knocking up 2 members from RRQ. Dyren goes to the back lines though, and it's still Sakai who gets to secure everything. Razor's Wrath doesn't land onto anyone but Toy. He gets first blood. Sakai trades out to Jin, but on the top lane, Yums will be the next to fall.
Whoa, there's the fight everywhere. Sakai's in trouble too. Edok, he'll clean up the kill before going down himself. So at least amongst it all, SRG gets a double for Stormy. They also get the turtle.
I mean, we did say that the idea for SRG is somewhat utility overall, but it's nice to see them play it very aggressively despite that. I mean, even in terms of the ones who positioned themselves first in the turtle, it was just such great timing overall for RRQ because even Toy was in that fight, so who would have expected that RRQ already had that much damage, that much sources for damage. It just fell into place for them, but either way, you see how SRG is trying to attack this game, is trying to approach this game up against RRQ.
This is kind of what I expected though. You know, I expected this matchup between these two teams to be pretty hectic in the early game. And we've already got that, and I think really when you look at both lineups, both just teams fighting out, like that's what they want to do. I almost feel like, for the most part, majority of the teams, this is how they like to play these games, especially you take in consideration, this is a best of 5. We've had plenty of best of 3s, you know, so team strategy and the way they play it might differ from game to game, but right now it's mostly objective fighting around that. We heard that from the interviews coming into this too, that, you know, for RRQ, a lot of times it's like, yeah, let's just go ahead and focus on our objectives, secure those early turtles if we can, and that's why we saw them fight for it. But of course, they've got to win that retribution battle when it comes down to it. And so what it's been a lot of is just these kind of skirmishes, these fighting. I mean, even earlier, the fact that Toy went all the way from the gold lane up to that turtle to provide that blazing duet damage was great because, I mean, with Innocent, he could have just joined the fight. Rins?
Yep. He was the first one to rotate out of his lane, but SRG are actually doing a really great job at holding this river side. Oh, Cram decides to burst or go in first. However, there's the Tsunami Slam already committed. Edok gets taken out. Sutsujin this time secures the turtle out. SLD will land onto Riz and Innocent will be coming on from behind, but the Phantom Execution will be enough. 2-man knockup coming in from the Tsunami or the Tidal Strike, but Yums, he will not be able to sustain all that, but it might just be all worth it for SRG.
Yeah, I mean, they'll get a couple kills off it. Of course, the turtle went to RRQ, but because of the extended fight and then Innocent joining in, I mean, crazy to see how this played out. We're going to get a look at it again with the instant replay here, brought to us by STC, but I mean, look at this. This was a fight that you think RRQ is going to win. Susujin gets the turtle, but then because of the spear, I mean, this is a very slow-moving Moskov too, because this is very early on in the game. But, you know, they end up having more of that firepower in their favor, especially when you have a landslide to consider in the hands of Skies here. So
it's still, I mean, either way, it's an objective trade for both of them now, 1-for-1 in the turtles, but SRG gets themselves a nice lead. A 1K lead at this point isn't anything too crazy that RQ has to deal with, but it's starting to build up here. I think the main thing when you really break down those fights is fighting around those windows of crowd control that RQ lineup has, but the same thing over here from SRG OG Esports. Like, they can do the same thing, but it's just playing around, for example, getting out the the Tsunami Slams if it's going to be used, or Edok setting things up with the break and fist break combo that we're so used to seeing, especially when the flicker's available.
Because I think even the panelists did point out that RRQ just have so many resources that will be very beneficial for them when it comes to a team fight or a situation where SRG has to group up, especially considering that majority of the heroes of SRG, well, fortunately for their last pick, they did decide to go for the Zetian, so that gives them a little bit more of range. They literally have to coordinate
and be together in order for them to maximize their potential, their capabilities. But Edok goes in with a flicker, gets to catch only Crab because Stormy still has the flicker, but the Fury of the Phoenix will be used to counter against RRQ. Yumes from behind trying to hold out some of the other members. Bravest Fighter already committed by Dyrant as well. There's another fifth break catching 3, but Toy might not get to target anyone with the blazing do it. Sekai this time gets the turn on Praetor's Wrath, lands onto Yumes. Sutsujin holding everyone down all by himself, but SRG, they might want to go for it. Fortunately, RRQ are able to run away though.
Graham just took so much damage and bought so much time for them in that fight. And then Yumes holding on to the Tsunami Slam for the right moment is what really allowed them to gain control around that last turtle of the game and win that fight. It just didn't seem like RRQ was able to go ahead and get the advantage they were looking for. You know, there was a great amount of damage from the Appraiser's Wrath from Sutsujin, but still they weren't able to win it out. Sakai is going to be out just fine in that exchange, but what a good fight for SRG there.
All of the good initiations, you see them come in from RRQ.
Yeah.
But eventually, SRG OG, they're just so consistent in finding ways to bounce back, to counter-engage up against this team of RRQ, up against all those potential fist break, fist crack setups we see that come in. But there's a conceal play coming in from RRQ. They don't fully commit just yet, though.
Yeah, good comms there. You know, they want to go for Innocent. Like I said, you know, leading into this, a lot of people are like, man, you know, SRG OG Esports has this kind of tendency to just rely on Innocent to kind of lock in, pop off later on. Again, he's the only one right now with a Savage for MST. And so if you can put some pressure there, try to delay him out a little bit, then that might be one of the game plans for RRQ. But he's protected really well. You can see he just goes down to the bottom lane now. Yumes providing so much information. He might be in trouble.
Oh, beautiful counter with the Tsunami Slam onto Edok. Now he gets immediately taken down before he gets to do anything. He was right close under the turn as well, but Toy, now with that energy eruption, they find a way to deal with Sekai's. That was a bit too dangerous up against 3 members of RRQ.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, Sekai's was like, I got this, and Toy said, no, it's all right. So this is actually probably going to get them the Lord here. There is a trade on the tier 2 turn in the bottom side, but RRQ now going for this. Oh, Spear. Okay, yeah.
Oh, we've seen too much.
We've seen it too much, Brigida. You know, you kind of hold your breath a little bit. We've seen too many Lords, too many turtles taken with the Spear Destruction from a Mozkov. But RRQ gets themselves a Lord, which is going to be not too devastating, I feel like, again, but they did whittle down some of the gold that was building up here in comparison to SRG. It might help them get to the tier 2 turrets because you got to see it. They don't have any tier 1s down at all. You know, so they need to go ahead and start opening up the map to utilize this lineup that they have here.
Yeah, because I know for a fact that RRQ might be wanting to consistently push SRG to force them to a fight, but then SRG, the way they're dealing with it right now, was just really backing on the idea that Innocent needs to take his time, but the Lantern Flare stack will catch on to Sekai once again. Fortunately, gets to dash away with the puncture. There's a beautiful knock-up coming in from Yumes as well. They commit the Tsunami Slam onto Sutsujin, but on the other side of the map, Sekai is doing a great job as well, zoning out or actually dealing the damage towards the tankiest members, but he gets traded down too.
Toys coming to the fight. He's trying to set up the Blazing Duet, but he gets hit into the wall. He finally gets it off. He'll take down one, forces the flicker from Stormy. What a fight in the mid lane. Lord finally goes down. So after it all, they get all tier 1 turrets that they need, except the mid one.
So it does seem like SRG, despite the presence of the Lord, really wanted to force that fight, be the ones to set things up this time around, but then that caused them a turret, that caused them a bit of casualties here and there. So fortunately, Innocent was there to actually deal with it, but this is where you see that SRG sometimes they tend to make these very bold decisions too.
Hey, we love these slow motions. Oh, Enoch! That wasn't slow motion. Enoch's taken out.
Okay, another Tsunami Slam will be committed onto Sutsujin. It seems like he's always the target. Now he gets caught. Innocent with a double kill once again, but Graham gets traded out. Yumes doesn't get the jump away. And now Sekai's in too deep with he might get the kill on Toy, and he's actually able to get the kill.
Oh my goodness, what a turnaround! And it was the same thing. Innocent comes in with a Spear Destruction. Dyron might get sandwiched into here. He's trying to get back to the mid lane, but Innocent's just like, I'm taking this turret. They win that fight. And I mean, look at all the bodies right there. And that choke point is not where you want to be. Good close up to it too. Because that was a fight that's looking one way and then it quickly turns the other. And I guess that's the way it works when you have a Lancelot and then a Mozkov that can work in conjunction with each other here. So you're getting to that point now where a lot of the teams, once they get this, 12-minute plus, Innocent's got most of the items that he needs, he's starting to be a big threat. Not only that though, but if you throw so much at a Lancelot, trying to catch him, you can buy like these windows of opportunity with a Thorn Rose, with a Phantom Execution. Oh, there it is.
Another surprise engage. Fury of the Phoenix as well committed just to follow up, but the damage coming in from IRQ! It just seems too much. Toy doing a great job at dealing damage. Innocent all alone up against 4, and he won't be able to handle it anymore.
Oh, that was such a good kind of fight back from RQ. Sekai's is still up. He might still try to delay them. It's only Innocent and Cram that are down. So as the 3 are still alive from SRG OG Esports, they can actually delay this and stop them from taking the Lord here.
Oh my goodness.
That's what they're going to do. They might just get a tier 1 in the mid lane for RQ. They could start this up, but by that time, Innocent could join this fight with a Spear of Destruction. Cram's already back up, so they'll do everything they can to stop this out. And this has been such a pendulum swinging game of back and forth that you can't clearly say RQ's got this Lord. SRG will fight it out too. So now with everybody back up, they're ready to fight for the Lord here.
Yeah, they gotta be cautious. They gotta manage the waves down bottom first. And also be wary of the threat of a potential steal away from the last one. But it bursts down the Lord. No steals whatsoever are gonna happen. There's the Blazing Druid once again coming in, however, and it deals enough damage against SRG. They're trying to chase after them. Lantern Flares coming in from Riz, but will he be able to catch up? Innocent, Yumes, and Stormy, they're just able to walk away.
As I said, Brugada, it's a pendulum for game number 1, swinging back and forth. Yeah, the Lord went to SRG, but they lost 2 bodies off of that. So this could be cleared out, but this is also the power of a Mozkov. Innocent rolls right up top, takes the tier 2 as well, because he knows RQ's got to deal with this. Well, he throws the spear down, but he knows Susujin's there as well. So this is, and he's actually going to transfer on down.
Whoa. That is a very brave move, and now with the Blazing Duet, Innocent bursted down. Riz gets the final blow as well, but will he be able to keep himself safe? He will. It's a double for Riz on the Jushin.
Hey, I guess they decided, let's just go for it. I'm surprised he followed through, but he did have some information that at least Yumes was there. But man, both Wind of Nature's coming in clutch. Toy picks up a Malefic Gun now. This is still an even pretty much game across the board. Both teams really close in terms of turrets that they have, but RQ is going to want to start to go ahead and have these better fights. I mean, a lot of the fights are started up from Yumes. Anytime he has a flicker, even if he doesn't, he can kind of just jump on in, Tsunami slam someone, and force RQ to. And there has been some close calls where it's like, boy.
Okay. Not even the orange buff comes for free.
He should get out.
He should, and find a way to try and get out, but that's 4 members that'll try to pin him down. They definitely do not want to allow him to escape, and that's how many seconds? At least he will make it in time though, but I feel like those are things you should not be doing anymore if you want to just hold on to whatever lead you had. And I said had because
it's gone.
It's gone.
They had one, but jumps on in.
There's a passive goal. But it still doesn't keep Stormy safe. Yumes might get bursted down next. Another double from Riz. Literally trying to work on that that redemption that we've been talking about. At least Innocent is still there though, so they have ways to clear the waves, but RRQ, they'll just go in and take this turret away from SRG.
Do they still want to fight this? They're going to jump on in the mid lane anyway.
Oh, energy eruption used on Sakai, but they go after Crab instead. Innocent trying to deal with the other members, but it seems like they do not care about the damage.
This has been a compounding consequence for SRG OG Esports. It started earlier on with that Spear Destruction choosing to fight, then Sakai's being in that side of the jungle around the orange buff, and now getting punished here. They lose the base turret. RQ's swung 3.5k in their favor, and the Lord is up. They're feeling confident about this. They'll start it up. SRG's going to get in position here. They will force this again, probably with Yumes, but they're going to get caught here.
They find a target, and it's going to be Yumes. Sakai's trying to find a kill onto Rin's. Fury of the Phoenix will not land, though. Super Jet Energy Eruption will be used towards Sakai's. Edok is there as well to put some pressure, but that does not completely stop Sakai's from trying to contest. There's Edok too, once again, trying to block the way, though. But will Sakai's find another route? Oh, the fist crab actually lands onto him. Sutsujin changes target. Break the chance!
Oh, it's a setup right there, but Innocent's pushing the base anyway. He's going for Rins. He's going to be stopped. It's a 1v1. He throws the Spear Destruction and he'll get Rins anyway. Pops the Wind of Nature. Going against Edok. He has the damage. He picks up 2.
That was a close call. Wind of Nature, SOD. All means just to escape. Even the Purify. But then he gets taken down now more than ever when he's needed the most by his team.
They can buy themselves 25 seconds here. Innocent will be back up for this. SRG has to delay this Lord push as much as possible. It was such a enough time to stay in the game.
The pendulum is becoming too real for this game, and mind you, we're already at how many kills? Like, if you do the math, 26 plus 19, that's like...
quick maths.
That's, I
That's
don't wanna...
35. Wait, no.
No.
That's
Wait, see, this is... This is how it affects our brain.
That's 45.
That's how unlimited clashes actually affect our brain. BMI out from Toy. Okay, just to escape the Phantom Execution. So you have to respect the wave clear and the damage coming in from SRG.
Is your brain okay, Brina?
I hope so.
I hope everybody watching this one, their brain is okay, because if it's 5 games of this, that's going to be intense. Conceal's going to be used. Edok will lead him charge here.
Ooh.
Will get stopped with the Dark Wave in his tracks. So right now, this composition is paying dividends here for SRG OG Esports. Like, they're able to stay in this, they're able to go ahead and clear things out relatively well and quickly, and it's actually pretty difficult for RQ to start up a fight. If they have to do anything, it's on Edok. He has to use that conceal like we just saw him, or, you know, flicker on in and set things up, but that's why the majority of this game has all been a decision from SRG. They've been the ones starting the fights, they've been the ones choosing that route, and clearly that can work for them, but I feel like even for RQ, you got to start to transition to be like, all right, how do we make sure we don't get just like pushed off the map, be it from Innocent? Because with that base turret down now, that's something they can play into. Good thing the Lord is on that side and not the opposite side, so that alleviates some of the pressure. Oh, Edok!
But even in just the orange buff, they decide to pick a fight. Edok gets bursted down, however, Immortality already popped, and Sakai's will be able to find the kill on the Tsujin! But Toy might just save the game for RQ. Deals enough damage with Blazing Duet. Once again, there's the stun coming in from Dyred. They go for Crab this time around, but Innocent is just chasing after every single member of RQ, but still, they find a way. Another bravest fighter in!
And they go in, they get the slam on down as well. Innocent, Immortality's still gonna be popped. He finally goes down from Riz, and RQ pushes and